welcome back to a glorious, glorious day. A glorious couple days it's been. We are the end of the fourth football show, coming to you after the Minnesota Vikings have been eliminated from the playoffs, as I said they would be months ago in the first round. So I'm
Wait a
pretty
minute.
happy today.
Hold on. They were there. I didn't see
Yes.
Green Bay playing the weekend.
Yes, it's true. It's true, but this is all I have to hold on to is
No. You don't get a pass on that. You failed. You had
yeah.
one job. Beat Detroit in
Mhm.
Lambeau. You had one job. And this elite quarterback and the elite defense that you said you had failed.
Well,
Failed. Failed. Failed to do
indeed we
it.
did. Indeed we did. We'll get on to it. And I'll
Good, you
actually
look normal
look back
now.
to C now. I am B-Hizzy, the host, as always, and I'm joined by Prez the Prez, Chris Mullaney. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
A touch
I'm all
salty,
right.
it seems. We got a nerve touch there.
Very much so. But I still have two of my men in the playoff.
Yes, it's true. Well, we do. I think we should probably reevaluate your position as Prez of the Danny Dimes fan club because you did a lock against him.
Yeah, because you took the Giants before me.
You could have locked up with me. We could have been
I
lock
didn't
bros.
realize I was allowed to do that.
Oh, of course, of course. We can lock up the same team. It's totally fine.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. So obviously, and then I was looking at Luke locking up Tom Brady. Oh my God.
Yes.
I didn't obviously lock him up. I went against that. But I think the Tampa police should investigate the guy that nicked his cleats to play.
Yeah. Mhm.
I mean, don't know who the hell that was.
Well, the Cowboys had their own problems in that game. But as you will recall, I was very much on the fence for picking that game. That was the one I felt least comfortable about, and I'm glad I didn't flip.
Yeah,
It's a
no,
testament to not flipping your
yes,
picks.
never flip.
There you go. I've been punished for that in the regular season, and I'm glad I didn't pick it there because I did go 6-0 this weekend on the pick. So very happy with that. My Super Bowl challenge bracket on NFL UK is still alive. And
I
I'm
didn't know.
oh well, there you go. I don't know what you could win. Is it like a trip to Super Bowl 58 or something next year if you get it all right? I don't know. I don't know. It's just like every March when you do your NCAA bracket for basketball, college
Yeah,
basketball, and you've got like a better chance of winning the lottery 5 times in a row than getting that exactly right. Something like that. So
yeah, it's mental, but it's very strange because this week is going to be fun. But let's review what's happened.
let's do it. We'll start where it began on Saturday night with the Seattle Seahawks falling to the San Francisco 49ers. What was it, 41-23 or something was the score?
It was embarrassing.
Well, I mean, do you know, we're reacting to this, and the Seahawks were winning at halftime.
Yeah, that was the thing. I watched it because we finished watching The Masked Singer
Mhm.
and I flipped over. I
Mm.
quite like The Masked Singer. Anyway,
Priorities.
that's a different day. And we were sitting watching it, and I was thinking, 17-16,
Mm.
if they can get the ball, get a quick touchdown in the second half, they're going to frighten the life out of them.
Yeah, it's very
It didn't
spicy.
happen. I mean, Geno Smith can play.
Hmm.
And I just think that there's one man I feel very sorry. Well, I feel very sorry for right now at this moment.
Hmm.
Brock Purdy.
Mm.
Because he's Mr. Irrelevant,
Yeah.
allegedly. Right?
Mm.
Now he's Mr. Relevant.
Mr. Very relevant.
But the point is, at this stage now, does this now mean that the last pick in the draft is potentially going to win a Super Bowl?
It just kind of
I
throws all we
think,
think out the window, doesn't it?
I think if the 49ers win the Super Bowl, I'm giving up in the NFL. I am giving up if they win it.
Uh-oh.
Not because of the quarterback's Mr. Irrelevant,
Hmm.
because they lost to the team that now has the #1 pick.
That's right. Yes, of course. Oh, you're totally right. Yeah.
I mean, different if they lost. I mean, I know they lost other games, but they lost to the #1
Mm,
pick.
that is right. Yes, week one. That was right, wasn't it? In the pouring rain, which was famous for you refusing to give him a pass, which, no, totally fair enough. I get it.
Yes, we all remember that little rant we had about
Yeah.
rain and wind and snow.
Yeah. Do you know, I think that a team with a potentially better pass rush. Now, I know that the 49ers are a super physical team. Their offensive line is, it's a brick wall. But a team with a better pass rush than Seattle, like Dallas, they're going to face this weekend, can give fits to what we see as the key to beating the 49ers, which is, frustrating Brock Purdy. Because when it comes down to it, yeah, he might be playing well. Yeah, he might be, playing a superstar sort of level right now, but we haven't really seen him. We discussed it in the previous show. We haven't seen him face very many elite pass rushes, and the deficiencies in his play are there. He's a 7th round rookie, and that's not to take away from what he's done so far. But I think that as a lot of what we expected as young quarterbacks to get a little bit flummoxed, a little bit flustered under elite pass rush, or facing elite pass rushes. And if Dallas can maybe, figure out a way to deal with that offensive line, they're going to annoy Brock Purdy. And this game this weekend could be, a different story to what we're expecting. And when the Cowboys kind of limped into the playoffs after losing to Sam Hill.
That's the thing. I mean, when we were discussing Week 18, and obviously you messaged me and said if we got Scotch in 6, and I said there's no point
Yeah.
because I can't tell you who's starting, who's not playing, how long our starters playing for.
Yeah.
And I mean, I watched Dallas on Monday every single snap as I do. I do work hard.
Yeah, I would have done the same if I wasn't like on an 8-game or an 8-day working streak. It's my last day, so I'm happy with this.
Just take a week off. Anyway,
Well,
what was I saying? Anyway, and it's like Dallas frustrated Tom Brady, who's the greatest of all time. Why can't they frustrate a rookie?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like we will get onto this at another stage. Our NFC Team of the Year. If Micah Parsons doesn't get in there, he has to be in there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I do think that Dallas, you don't know what you're going to get with Dallas because Dak was Joe Montana on Monday.
Yeah, he's very
He
good.
might look like Joe Bloggs on Sunday.
Yeah.
But no, I was well impressed with the 49ers. And when we did our playoff review, they were my tip for the Super Bowl.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, they were. So we're kind of hoping that's not going to be the case if you're going to give up the NFL.
Just to lose to the team that's got the #1 pick. I mean, you imagine if they'd lost to the Texans as well.
Exactly. I mean, it's like the circle of the circle of the NFL is any given Sunday, and that is it's a perfect example of it all, isn't it?
Oh, it's like Man United.
Oh, don't even.
New player, sack Ten Hag, beat City, finish 4th. That's it. That's the circle of life.
Well, that is for another podcast, but
Yes,
I could ramble on. I'm sure you've seen many of my comments.
I have, yeah.
Yes. On the Seattle side of things, I think it was just they were just a little bit too short-handed to kind of beat this team. They obviously they put up a good fight, and as it just kind of got away from them in the second half. And I think a second year for Geno in the system, Seahawks could be another a team to watch out for again next year if they have a good draft, good free agency, that kind of thing. So it's a big if, but there's reason to be optimistic as a Seahawks fan.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're the sort of joint second best in the West.
Yeah, I suppose you could say it like that.
It's 49ers. We don't know what we're getting with the Rams. We don't know what we're getting with Arizona. Pete Carroll will still be there next year.
Yeah.
We don't know. But
that's it.
Can we move on to my game?
Let's do it. Let's move on. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence storming back from an impossibly bad first half to win 31-30 against the Los Angeles Chargers.
Right. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start the positives or do you want to start with the Chargers' incompetence?
Uh, I mean, it's all positive when you look at it that way, from your point of view.
Do you know, it was brilliant to watch.
Mm.
First half, though, oh my God. I'm glad my television's on finance because I'd have smashed it up if it wasn't.
Yeah.
How did you throw picks in the first quarter and come back and win?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, watching it, and obviously the first pick goes in, you go, okay, I'll give you a pass on that.
Mm-hmm.
Second one, oh, wait a minute, we have a problem here. Third, I went, oh, no, this is going to go horribly wrong.
Yep.
You know, and then obviously it nearly did.
Yes.
But second half, it all turned round.
I mean, this is the kind of game that you look for when you're trying to convince your pal, oh, look at the NFL, look how good this is. This is an advert for the NFL. 27 points down. That's the equivalent of about 4-0 come back to win.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. But that's the thing about the NFL that neutrals love is these sorts of games where it's never over till it's over.
Exactly.
I mean, the game I always point to people is look at 28-3.
Yes.
And that's not a dig at anybody or Brady or anything like that, but that's a game where if I was watching it in the house as a complete neutral, would go, oh, I'll go to my bed. Done. Atlanta have won it. And obviously we all know how that ended up. It's just the Jags are, we said earlier on in the season, I thought they were at least a year away. But what's happened after Thanksgiving has been tremendous.
Yeah, they've only lost one game since December or something or other, isn't it? So,
I mean, Trevor Lawrence, since week 9, has been the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, you could get on board with that, yeah.
No, that's not a dig. That's a fact.
It's a fact, yeah.
You like your stats. There's a stat for you.
I do like my stats, yes, indeed.
And I just stopped watching it going, the first touchdown, the second one, I went, oh, wait a minute. This is alive here. This is, and then obviously got down to the nitty gritty. And I'm like, that, come on, just kick the field goal. Just kick the field goal. But, I'm delighted that they're there against the Chiefs. Mahomes isn't invincible.
Yeah, he's not invincible. He's not inevitable. And you look at the way the Chiefs kind of finished off that season. Yeah, they won their games. They've won however many they have straight. But there was a lot of games where they let bad teams in. And by no means are the Jags a bad team. They let the Broncos, that's the swear word on this podcast. That shit team from Denver and the Texans both to play them close. And maybe playoff Mahomes is a different animal. I say maybe that's a fact for sure. But the Jacksonville Jaguars are by no means a bad team and can definitely give the Chiefs a scare. What I don't like, and we'll obviously get into this, is Andy Reid after a bye, but it's still wide open for the Jags here.
Yeah, of course. And there's an easy way for the Jaguars to win this on Sunday. Saturday, sorry. Very easy way. Keep Patrick Mahomes at the side.
Yep.
Time of possession, 60 minutes. That's ideal.
Yeah, ideally, yeah.
Or, let's give them a pass. Time of possession, 59-58. We'll give Mahomes 2 seconds.
No, well, I mean, who knows what he could do with
14 points.
Yeah, he's got 14 points on that, so.
I mean, if the Jags can get a couple of stops on Mahomes, maybe limit, I'm not going to say stop, but limit the ball that he can get to Travis Kelce. Limit the balls to Kadarius Toney. Force them to run with Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon. I think this game could be pretty close. I mean, I looked earlier on, the Jags are 9-point dogs. That's a game where even if the Chiefs win, I don't think it'll be that far apart.
Yeah. Mhm. Back to this game. I think that, a lot of this is down to, as you say, Chargers incompetence. Um, just you try and think what really went wrong, and it's just a thing of everything. I've always compared the Los Angeles Chargers to Hibernian Football Club, because you always hear, oh, they've Hibsed it, or the Chargers, they've Chargers it, and that's what they did again this weekend. A big moment, and they messed it up. And I don't honestly think Brandon Staley should see some kind of, discussion about, is he on the hot seat? Because playing his starters so far into that game in week 18 against that shit team from Denver, um, where Mike Williams gets injured, he misses this game. And maybe he's the difference, because he's a speedster from sure. And there was a play, 4th and 1, they only need a yard, and you think Mike Williams can get you that on a jet sweep? I think
Of
so.
course,
But
of course. I mean, the problem with the Chargers is they're in a division with arguably, you could say, the best division in football.
mhm.
And I'm not. And before you jump down and jump off a boat, let me go. Mahomes, Russell Wilson on his day,
Mhm.
and Derek Carr on his day
Mhm.
are three brilliant quarterbacks on their day. And Justin Herbert finished second.
Mhm.
Now, clearly that's down to head coaching,
Yep.
but I do think Brandon Staley, he'll get another year at it. He will
Yeah.
get one more
He
year.
should be safe, but I think that his there's a lot of boneheaded mistakes that he's making, that, don't accumulate to any sort of success. And it's become another factor again. Last year we see him not going for it on 4th downs, or calling the timeouts, that kind of thing, and he's changing things up this year, and they make the playoffs. But 3 points in the second half, you're not going to win many games like that, regardless of how
No,
unless you're like 60 points up, you're not going to win many points the second. You're not going to win many games. You score 3 in the second half.
definitely. And that's the thing that we keep saying. It's like, you know, you know how much I love offense,
Mhm.
right? And I'm big on this. I'll just outscore them.
Mhm.
At some point, your defense has to make a stop,
Exactly. Mhm.
and we'll get onto that when we review the game in 2 games' time.
Mm.
But it was a great performance for the Jaguars. They were supposed to be a year away,
Mhm.
division champions, won in the wild card round.
Mhm.
They'll go to Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs. Then they'll go to Buffalo or Cincinnati and win there, and then
Mhm.
they'll win in Arizona.
It's so easy.
Oh, I make it easy. I didn't say it was. By the way, I didn't say it was realistic. I said it was a dream.
Yeah.
But would it shock you if they went to Arrowhead and won?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I wouldn't be extremely shocked. I'll tell you that much.
No, no, it's not as big as like a League Two team beating a Premier League club.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Exactly.
Will
But
we continue? Let's keep going.
let's go to the game before the game
Who it was next? It was the Bills against
against the
the
Dolphins.
Dolphins, and I think that, I was watching this game, and I was posting on the show's Facebook page, which you can follow, End of the Fourth Football Show. And I'm checking it. I feel like I maybe come across as a lot, but as a Josh Allen hater. With the things I've been saying in the podcast, I promise I'm not a Josh Allen hater. I'm not. I think he is great. And he's one of the top. I put him as number one player to watch this year. All that jazz. And I promise you, I'm not a Josh Allen hater, but he's just a turnover machine. And this
Oh
worries me
yeah.
so much. Another 2 picks, you could probably argue, weren't really his fault, right? But regardless, they still got picked. He still chose to make that pass, and they still got picked. And then obviously had the fumble lost as well. And this Dolphins team was really there for a taking. They were 13.5-point favorites. We said this game wasn't going to be particularly close. And sure enough, it came down to the wire, really.
Yeah, the 5-year-old was upset about it.
Yeah.
Because the schools were off on Monday, she says, "Can I stay up?"
Mhm.
And I says, "Fine, you can stay up and watch it." And then she went to bed upset because Buffalo won.
No, that's a shame.
Then she asked about the game after it, and we didn't discuss that.
No.
But
And then Dad went to bed upset. Although maybe he wasn't upset.
no, I was working.
Oh, of course, aye.
I work hard.
Aye. Yeah, working hard or hardly working.
Well, yeah. But no, it was, you know, that game was not supposed to be 30, what, 34, 31.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, I was talking to my mate who's a big Jags fan. He's just back from Jacksonville. And he said, "This is he went, it was level." And I went, "The Dolphins clearly haven't read the script here.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
this is going horribly wrong for Buffalo." And
I mean, they
you
took the
just,
lead as well.
at one point, did you not just think that, by the way, this could go horribly wrong very
Yeah.
fast?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you were really thinking that when, especially when, was it 24-20 when the Dolphins
Something, yeah,
scored, they
24,
took
20,
they
yeah.
took the lead, and then the Bills had, what was it, two straight 3 and outs or something like that. And you're thinking, all right, what is going on here? This is not
Yeah.
good. And this is the thing that I really worry about, and it's why I have the Bengals winning next week against the Bills, because I think, for one thing, obviously the emotion of the occasion maybe get to the Bills, but two is, I just think that the two teams are playing very different football, and obviously we'll get into it, right? But I just think that the turnovers, the inefficiency on the offense against the team which was so poorly manned. There was no Bradley Chubb in this game. The Dolphins had obviously their third string rookie quarterback, Skylar Thompson. They had three backup offensive linemen. I think one of those guys was picked up off the streets. So it's just such a concern for me, and I get it. Every different Sunday, regardless, they still won, and as you say, it doesn't matter how you win. Regardless, the point is that you do win. But I just think that a team like Cincinnati or a team like Kansas City will blow the doors off this Bills team if they play like that again.
Oh, of course. And, you know, I blame one man for that performance on Sunday from
Yeah.
Buffalo,
Hmm.
Brian Dable.
Yeah.
He left and Josh Allen's regressed
I think so.
massively,
Mm. Hmm.
but he's still getting the wins.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, we'll obviously do a preview show, and I'll have to think about that one because that's a coin flip.
Mm.
Because I do think whether it's I want to see the Chiefs Bills, I don't know, but I think that I did say last week Cincinnati's the best team in the NFL.
Hmm.
Then I watched them Sunday,
Mm.
and we'll get onto that. But
Mm.
no, I thought Buffalo done what they had to do. They won
Yeah.
the game, and they're now in the next stage of the playoff.
Exactly. And they've got that time they can tidy things up, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
But I think if Tua plays this game, Dolphins win.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If Teddy Bridgewater
Every
plays this
game.
game, the Dolphins win, I think.
I don't know about Teddy, but definitely Tua.
Yeah, and it's just it's just such a concern to me. But I promise, Bills fans, if you are listening, I promise I'm not a Josh Allen hater. I really do think he is great.
Tua with concussion
Yeah.
was yeah, that's fine. No, the 5-year-old keeps asking. I keep telling him it's a sore head he's got.
He's got a sore head, yeah. Not the actual travesty, horrific injury that it actually is.
No, he has a sore head.
He's got a headache.
He goes, "Can't you take paracetamol? Mummy does." So
But the difference
no, I'm
is,
like,
Tua got his sore head from a hit to the hit on the ground, whereas Mum gets her sore head from you being a pain in the arse.
yes, and talking about Daniel Jones.
Aye. Yeah.
But okay, let's go for it. On you go. I'm ready. On you go.
It's a good day. It's a good day. I don't think that we have really any frauds at this point in from the playoffs, because I think the Buccaneers were frauds. and I think the Vikings were frauds, and the Ravens were definitely frauds. So I don't think there's any more of those teams left now because the Giants won the game and against the Vikings, and you know, I think that the game was at week 17. Was it Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve, yeah.
Christmas Eve, where you know the Vikings won. I think that set a precedent where the one-score games, the luck, it was coming to an end because they it was a one-score game where you felt like the opposition played really, really, really well. You know, the Giants did play really well. Daniel Jones in particular
Giants
was
didn't deserve to
excellent.
lose that game.
And you know, when you look at their other one-score games, is despite it being a one-score game, you felt like they were in control. You know, they felt comfortable on offense. They had Justin Jefferson making plays, Kirk being able to throw the ball. Maybe aside from the Colts one, which was just ridiculous. I feel like that the Dolphins, the Vikings just didn't have it in them, and yeah, I think that's what I'm going with. What do you think?
Right. I watched the game on Sunday, every
Mhm.
snap.
Mhm.
And you love stats, so can I give you a stat before I defend the Vikings here?
Let's go for it.
Daniel Jones over 300 yards
Hmm.
and over 70 rushing yards.
Hmm.
Now, let me just get my list of how many people have done that.
Hmm. In the playoffs.
Oh, in the playoffs. Oh, that's right. Daniel Jones.
That's it.
One.
Mm.
That's it. Done. Concluded. Now, I was talking to a lot of Vikings fans on Sunday night. I was watching the game
Hmm.
in work, talking to a lot of the Vikings fans. And after the game, they were giving it, Kirk's got to go, Ed Donatel's got to go.
I agree
Kevin,
with.
oh, yeah, I agree with the defensive coordinator's got to
Yeah.
go.
Hmm.
And it was so-and-so's got to go. And this, and I was like, this is not the time to be discussing players and coaches' contracts.
Hmm.
It was a raw defeat. It
Hmm.
was raw. It was sore. Whether or not they deserve to lose is irrelevant. You know, some arsehole put Kirk Cousins as a fraud. Kirk is not a fraud. The last time I checked, Kirk Cousins didn't play safety, he didn't play linebacker, he didn't play nose tackle, and he didn't play corner.
Hmm. You know, I think he
And a
played. He didn't
beautiful
play.
woman once said, "My husband can't throw and catch."
Hmm.
Now, he made a boneheaded play,
Hmm.
the one to TJ Hawkinson, 12 yards short of the sticks. But
Yeah.
he clearly thought, this man's got me all night.
Hmm.
Why can't he do it again?
Hmm.
And then everybody in their granny's giving it. But KJ Osborne became open at the last second. Yeah. I've never played quarterback in my life in the NFL, but I can probably guarantee you, if you've got a 350-yard nose tackle running at you, you're not scanning the field looking for the guy that comes open with a second to go.
Hmm.
You're looking for that guy that's open, and TJ Hawkinson was open. I mean, as for that tool on the NFL Sky, Neil Reynolds,
Hmm.
oh, you've got to get Justin Jefferson involved. I would love to get Justin Jefferson involved, but there's two guys on him.
Hmm.
Now, for years, you sat and watched Aaron Rodgers target Devontae Adams with two guys on him. And how many times did the ball go incomplete?
I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying there. Yeah, it was. It was. To be honest, with Devontae and Aaron, it was. You felt like it was going to be 50-50. You
Yeah,
felt like the two of them
that,
could make a play. But
but
I
that
get
could
what
have
you're
been
saying.
50-50 on Sunday, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'd rather take a chance that TJ Hawkinson will get the yardage than than the ball going complete, because it was fourth down.
Hmm.
And all the Giant defense has got to do is knock the thing away. He doesn't have to do anything.
Hmm.
But, you know, Ed Donatel's got to go.
Hmm.
But that's a discussion for another day. That's not a discussion for 25 minutes after a playoff defeat.
Hmm. I think it's if it's not already happened, I think it will be a matter of time. Once the pain comes in. The Vikings do have some kind of urgency about them to get rid of their underperforming defensive coordinator, Joe Barry. But
Maybe Ed Donatel might turn up in Green Bay.
oh Christ, no, no, don't give me
It's,
nightmares.
it's the same as watching it, and other fans are saying, "Oh, draft a quarterback."
Mhm,
Why? If you're going to draft a quarterback, you do what Kansas done. They showed you the blueprint.
mhm,
You sit the guy behind, Kirk Cousins for a year. You let him develop,
mhm.
and then in year 2 you go for it.
Yeah. Mhm,
Don't throw the kid into a wildfire and go sort us out, son.
mhm. Yeah, because it's an unfavorable situation to say the least.
But it's the perfect division.
Mhm,
We don't know what's happening in Green Bay.
mhm,
Chicago's a mess.
mhm,
So next year's a shootout between Minnesota and Detroit.
mhm, mhm. For sure. But I mean, on the other side is there's a lot of upside to what we could see from those teams we don't particularly know about. The Bears have a lot of cap space, and who knows what we'll get from Justin Fields? Maybe some kind of resurgence in the second year under Matt Eberflus' system. Sorry, it's not his system, is it? He's a defensive guy. But regardless, the second year in that offensive system, and then in
Run,
Green Bay,
Justin!
hmm?
Run! Run, Justin! Run!
Yeah. But in Green Bay, if Aaron Rodgers comes back, do you really think he's going to have 2 years like this in a row? I don't think
Yeah,
so. Come on.
it's not Aaron Rodgers that's the problem.
Mhm.
It's the 11 guys that come on when he's sitting at the side.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
But you said it's Jordan Love's season. You said,
Yes,
not me.
I did. I did. And we don't know what we're going to get from Jordan Love. It could be a ton of upside. There is a ton of upside to him, if I'm quite honest. No, I'm happy to sit on that right there, and I'll die on that hill. Honestly, I think there is a ton of upside to having a quarterback. You say that you have a guy. If the Vikings were to draft a quarterback, you have him sit for a year behind Kirk Cousins, learn the rules of the game, and then move on from the next year. Right? In that hypothetical situation, you've got a maybe. If he learns from Kirk, maybe a B plus ceiling quarterback that could be, pretty reliable at, a lot of situations. You take Jordan Love, who's a first round pick, has sat behind Aaron Rodgers now for 3 seasons, and 2 of those years he was MVP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers is one of the greats. Regardless of what you think of him this year, and regardless of, if you think I'm biased, you look at my room and everything like that, it's true. But there's a ton of upside to that. You just don't know. And sure, there's a lot of like, okay, what do we think? It's tough to really make an evaluation, but we're getting off topic here. But I
On
think
the
that
flip
NFC
side,
North could be a really good division next year.
but on the flip side, my man, Daniel,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I said, I said this was his year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now he's on a flight in 2 days' time to Lincoln Financial Field, and he's going to stuff Jalen Hurts.
I'd love it. I mean, well, I wouldn't because I love Jalen Hurts, but I think
Daniel is MVP.
that
Let me finish.
let bro cook.
Most valuable. He is valuable to the Giants.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Without him, they don't win on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. No, for
But
sure.
on Saturday night, I've got 2 under 7s staying with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be up watching it.
Mm-hmm. I shall be as well. I'm looking forward
Emily
to
wants to watch it, but she's going to bed.
it.
But Daniel is going to Lincoln Financial Field, and the Giants will win.
You want to lock it up right now?
I don't at the moment till
No,
I've
because
seen
you're
the
not.
line.
No, you're not. You're banned. Oh, there's no that rule for the line doesn't matter in the playoffs.
All right, well, I didn't know that either.
I just
Come on.
decided it. That's why.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, because I
Liverpool.
looked at it. I looked at the lines that we had for the wild card weekend, and there was like two games we could have locked up. It was the ones we did, or Cowboys and Bucks,
Yeah,
and that's that sucks for a selection. And I was staying away from that Cowboys Bucks game, no matter
yeah.
what you wanted
I,
to say. So,
I was the same, but no, I mean Daniel Jones was brilliant on Sunday, and he made the throws. The running game worked. He's got legs. It was brilliant, and you know what? Offensive Player of the Year will go to someone very obscure, probably AJ Brown, something like that. But Isaiah Hodgins,
Darius Slayton,
Dan Bellinger.
who are these guys you hear us say, or we hear you say?
These are guys
These are
that
guys,
are
yeah.
stars.
For sure, Daniel Jones has definitely played himself into another year in New York. Despite whatever, if there's some people out there that still think he sucks, he's definitely played himself in for another year in New York. And I think that
Anybody that thinks he sucks is banned for the show.
for sure. No, I am on that train with you there, my friend. I think that
Oh, you can't jump on the Daniel Jones train if I can't jump on Joe Burrows.
well, no, I only said you had to push through the Bengals offensive line, which it would have been tougher to push through, six kittens.
Probably.
Oh wait, that's unfair. They actually have been playing pretty well. Right. Is that all you want to say about the Chris Mulaney Bowl, which was this game?
Yes, I've had a rant.
All right, we'll take a short break and we're back. We'll hit my guy, Joey B, Joey Franchise, Joe Cool, and the Buccaneers and the Cowboys game. All right then. Bengals 24, Ravens 17 with a nice win for the Bengals. A little bit uncomfortable, you'd have to say. Maybe changed on the one play. But, I think that you look at Joe Burrow, and this is what I was saying earlier about the difference between the Bills and the Bengals is that, the Bills might be a little bit more explosive on offense with Josh Allen, being, a gunslinger. Joe Burrow, he takes what's there, doesn't make those mistakes. And he plays safe football, and this is the prime example. And the good thing about the Bengals is I think that I think I agree with you. There is maybe the best team in the AFC. I don't know about the whole league, but I think that with the way that they are playing, you've got to think that they've got the offense can kind of bail them out of a situation, and the defense can bail them out of a situation. So they've got that kind of complete package deal as a team.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
And the reason I want to say no,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a dig, but we're going to look at one stat in particular. It's only one stat because we're not doing stats as a chunk. But one thing I do want to look at was Joe Burrow had 23 completions. 9 of those were to Jamar Chase. So if you take Jamar Chase out, who's he going to throw to?
He's look somewhere else, yeah. I think is it Tyler Boyd is injured right now, so
yeah, I mean, so no, Tyler Boyd was playing. So
was it Tyler Boyd playing?
So I mean, if you look at the receptions, right, was Chase 9 for 84. The next after that was Hayden Hurst at 4 for 45. So if you take his wee pal out, who's he got to throw to?
I think I would just trust.
Is Joe Burrow brilliant because Joe Burrow's brilliant, or is Joe Burrow brilliant because Jamar Chase makes him look brilliant?
I think that when you look at when Jamar Chase was injured, the Bengals were still winning games. And it might not have been as comfortable, and Joe Burrow might not have been top there, but I think that the fact that everybody says it all starts with the quarterback, and I think that there's what you can lend to that is that I think Joe Burrow is brilliant because he's brilliant.
Right, no, as I say, I'm on the same train. I just think that if there was no Jamar Chase, do you think the Bengals would still have won that game?
I don't know. I think potentially because it was against, Tyler Huntley, who, as a side note, has really badly affected his trade value over this course of games. Compared to what it was last year, where he was, filling in for Lamar when he was injured. But that's besides the point. Is that I think I trust Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow to come up with some kind of offensive game plan that works. Obviously, they're not going to be able to run the ball. They've not been able to run the ball all year, which is why I think they potentially fall short again in the AFC Championship game. But I think that I think they could still win this game. I think the defense does enough.
It was just watching the game, and every time it was in a sticky situation, he went straight to Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Chase come up with the play, of course. I mean,
mm-hmm.
You can throw the ball to the best receiver in the world. If he doesn't catch it, then it's an issue.
Yeah.
But it was just something that was bugging me because obviously I want Joe Burrow to succeed. You know how much I want quarterbacks who are doubted and commit to this league. I want them to succeed.
And
it was just, it was the Eli Manning OBJ thing, where OBJ made Manning look brilliant.
Yeah.
Take OBJ out, it was crap.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If you take Jamar Chase off Joe Burrow, it was just something.
Yeah, something to look for. And we'll see how that goes. But I think that Joe Burrow has a 4-1 playoff record, right? And those 4 wins, he's never really done anything spectacular, but he's not needed to. I think the defense has been able to play well enough to allow him to play relaxed and not have to play hero ball and force anything. And that's ideally, as a quarterback, what you want to do. You don't want to have to, be forced into, Joe Burrow didn't have a completion over 20 yards in this game, right? And that I think from what's the word? I don't know, like a if you're not forced to have to take those shots, right? And ideally, maybe you want to do 2 a quarter, right? Just take the top off the defense, see where you go, a shot play, right? But you don't have to. You don't have to really force anything because obviously there's a lot that goes into it. You got to wait for the receivers to get down the field, that kind of jazz, and there's a lot that goes into it.
Yes, I agree.
Interesting trade proposal you just said there.
Very interesting.
I'd take that because he gets him out the division. You want to float that to the listeners?
If you want.
Go for it.
I think the Bengals should try and trade for Justin Jefferson. He wants a ring. Joe Burrow could get him a ring. Look at Stephon Diggs. He wanted out of the Vikings. He got out and potentially could win a ring this year.
You have to say as well, there was no winner in that trade. Like I say, there's no winner. Both teams won that trade with the Bills and the Vikings because Stephon Diggs got to go to a situation he prefers. The Vikings got Justin Jefferson.
Exactly.
I think maybe they'd have to include a first-round pick or 2 in there, but
I don't.
Sure. No?
Because Stephon Diggs wanted out of Minnesota. He got out. Justin Jefferson may decide, I want out of here. Joe Burrow could get him that ring.
Maybe
Josh Allen would have got him a ring last year had the game only been 59 minutes and 47 seconds.
Did Joe Burrow and Justin Jefferson play together at LSU?
No, it was Jamar Chase. They made it.
Yeah, I know Jamar. They played with Jamar Chase.
Justin Jefferson, LSU, yeah.
Yeah, I know they went to LSU, but was Joe Burrow there at the same time? Because I know he transferred in. Let's fact check this. Let's have a look.
Well, he was at LSU
18 to 19. Yeah, so they would have played together at the same time. That'd be interesting. That could totally be a thing. That's something we should look for in the off season. Potential trade options.
Definitely.
And I'd
That's
be
that.
happy with that because it gets my guy Joe Burrow another weapon that he's familiar with, and Justin Jefferson at the division. Happy
Yeah,
days.
you have to give it. You can't keep recruiting lots of good pieces and not give one up.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
why I said trade Boyd, Tyler Boyd.
Hmm. On the kind of like off the field things with this game is that Lamar Jackson not turning up for this game. You know, obviously he's injured, but not there on the sideline. That a concern to you? What do you think? Do you think that he has played his last game as a Raven?
The thing is, where's he going to go?
Well, I think there's plenty of suitors. I mean, I think he could go to the Jets,
Whoa,
Vegas,
whoa, whoa! Wait a minute.
New
As a
England,
GM, who?
New England.
New England, maybe, but as a GM,
Hmm.
my concern would be he's never played a full season.
Hmm. Other than
That
2019 when he won his
that's
MVP.
that's my concern.
Hmm. 10 games he's missed over the last 2 years. That's a concern, you know?
Yeah,
When there's 34 games now in the season, or 2 seasons.
I would be worried about that.
But I mean, I think your upside, you can, I don't think it's like, I don't know if it's like a Kyler Murray situation where, I was like, obviously the talent is very clear, but with the way he's missed games, and again this year missed games, you'd feel very uncomfortable handing him $250,000, which is what the Cardinals did, and I think that's a testament to the mismanagement in the office because regardless of that is that the biggest thing is availability, and if your guy's going to miss 6 games a year, those 6 games your guy has to play perfect in the 11 others.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Call of Duty got released.
Yeah. Look, Call of Duty got released, and I wasn't allowed to, mess around with my work commitments just because I wanted to play it.
Well, why didn't you say that to your boss?
Oh, I am sure he would have loved that. Yeah, sorry, Ross, can't come in. Playing some Call of Duty today. Ah, that's all right, Brendan. No worries.
I'm going to try that with my boss.
I can
I
give it a
went to
go.
ask my boss today for a day off next month.
Yeah,
She
you
basically
got.
looked at me as if I'd committed crime of the century.
You got to know.
No, she went, we'll see what we can do.
Mm.
What's it for? So, no, it's not for the Super Bowl.
Not for the Super Bowl.
No.
Very, very poor. What was I going to say? Yeah, so like I think that Lamar obviously he's missed 10 games in the last 2 years, and I think that the upside that you get with him, he's won an MVP. I think he makes everybody around him better. I'm not too sure you can say the same thing for Kyler Murray. I think that his athleticism disguises a lot of cracks in
Yes.
the offensive system that was in Arizona. It may be a different story next year, and but who knows what's going to happen with his EL recovery, and that's for an off-season story. But I think the upside you've got with Lamar is more than the upside you've got with Kyler right now because of, I don't know, I just think that what I was saying there. So I think that I genuinely do. I think that the relationship between Lamar and the Ravens is in a really bad place, and I think he may have played his last game. I think there's a not
Possibility.
not 0% chance that he's played. I think not less than 50% chance. I think he's done in Baltimore, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. But just one final note on this. The Bengals, if they're looking for someone to help them with Jamar Chase,
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Hopkins wants out of Arizona,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but he's going to Jacksonville.
Well, he's got in Green Bay, from what I've heard.
No, he's
I hope
no
not.
Jacksonville. He likes the warm weather.
Mm. um. Yes. Yeah. That should just about do it for this game. This recap. This reaction. And we will move on to the final game of Tom Brady's career. What do you think?
I don't know
Mm.
because it could be his last game,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Because your man behind you
Mm-hmm.
with the green jersey wants that to stay black.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady in Las Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
full of hookers.
I think that there's obviously there's a lot of bad blood between Tom Brady and the Raiders fans. So I think that there could be, I don't know, regardless, it doesn't really matter what the fans think, because we look at what happened with Deshaun Watson in the offseason. So I think with if Devon
Oh,
Jam's going to be delighted if Tom Brady goes there. I agree with you. I don't think Tom Brady is done. I think that he plays again this year.
it will depend where he goes,
Hmm.
and it depends who wants him.
Hmm.
Miami's an option,
Hmm.
but then what do you do with Tua?
Mm.
You know, Tua to Minnesota. Anyway, that's not for that. That's not for discussion. It was just something that was popping in my head there.
I think
You
if he's going
know,
anywhere, he's probably going to go to he's going to go to Las Vegas. But could we see him as a Ram?
no,
No, no,
no.
no cap
think
space.
I think Baker will get a shot there next year,
Yeah.
and I would give Baker Mayfield a shot.
Hmm. No, totally. Yeah.
I'd give him a full off season.
Hmm.
Give
Hmm.
Baker a shot there, because I don't know if Sean McVay will still be a Ram.
He said he still wants, he's looking forward to getting back next year, but we will see.
And I want a 10% pay rise. Doesn't mean I'm going to get a 10% pay rise.
Yeah.
You know?
um,
I
I
mean,
think, I think that Tom Brady will play next year, and I think that will probably. I don't think we've all been saying this for years. It's like, surely this is the last year, right? 2019, surely this is the last year, and it wasn't. And now he's not got no nagging wife that regardless of what you think and all that, is like, you can't force your partner that he especially when he was in that job, to before he met you, right? You can't force your partner to give up something they love, right? No matter what. I mean, unless it was heroin, right? You get what I'm saying here, right? Is you can't force someone to give them up, and doing that, I don't know, not a good look for Giselle. But I think that Brady, you know, he could
well,
try and play till 50, and would be surprised. I mean, he looks after himself. Whether there's some questionable substances in his nutrition plan is not for me to comment on. But I think if he feels he can do it, I think he's going to try. He's definitely going to play next year, I reckon.
well, because she doesn't see this on YouTube,
Hmm.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
Hmm.
If Kerry forced you to give up Green Bay, would you?
No.
And now I asked that question because I know she's not going to see this on YouTube.
Hmm.
That's why. I now
Mm.
might just add her on Facebook and send her the link and get her to scroll to the bit.
This would be the one episode she'd watch. But she's listened to us when we were in audio format back yongs ago, but then stopped because I think I said this before, because I said I wouldn't listen to a makeup podcast that she started if she was to start one. Like,
Oh, well.
it's slightly different here.
No, I just thought I'd throw it out there.
No, totally, I get it. All right, well,
On
we'll
the
need to get
flip,
onto this game then, won't we? We'll need to get onto this game.
on the flip, I wouldn't give up Daniel Jones or Kirk for Danny, but
That's right.
but onto the game.
Yes.
Dak Prescott's brilliant, eh?
Yes, he well, played well in this game, but I'm not a fan of him, basically shunning his kicker. You've got, your kicker is, I think is a very underrated part of the backbone of your team, right? And, obviously he had a rough game. Brett Maher, was it?
He had a rough game.
Yeah, it was very rough. It was very bad.
You're not
But you
even
don't.
getting a pass. You only got to put the thing 15 yards.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, it's even brilliant, when you get, £185 back. It's even better.
Yeah, there you go.
Cowboys to win. Michael Gallup, was it Michael Gallup for a touchdown? And a couple of things had to go for me, but done it.
Mm. It's just, was their kicker, Brett Maher, was he on the sideline all year shouting when Dak was throwing picks every 2 minutes? Because
It's
that's what
very
Dak said.
difficult.
He shouted, "Let's go for two" when he missed another one.
See, it's a very difficult situation here because let's put it this way: Super Bowl's on the line. It's 29 each. You've just scored a touchdown to make 29-29. All you've got to do is kick one, you win the Super Bowl. But your kicker's had a shocker. I'm going for two.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would rather be ballsy and lose a Super Bowl than trust a guy having a shocker.
I think you look at it in a different way, because if you kick that and you win it, great, superb, celebrate, da 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 da. If he misses, right, he still knows that as a head coach, you've got his back if it goes to overtime and you potentially need him again. 4th and 3 at the 33-yard line to kick a game-winning field goal, right? Something like that, right? I think that if you go for two and you don't get it, and that kicker knows you turned away from him in his moment to redeem himself, I think that psychology affects you, and it would affect him in overtime. If you need him again in overtime, it changes things.
See, this is where me and you differ so often, because I'm giving it, let's just go for two. Let's take a chance.
Yeah. I think that in relation to this game, I think that, I think 3 is the baseline at that point, right? If you don't yank your kicker after 3 missed kicks, you have to keep putting him out there until he makes one. You know what I mean? It's like, so if you what am I trying to say here? So if he misses 3, you have to keep going, right? If he misses 2, or no, okay, so if he misses 3, then that's, what am I saying? If he misses 4, he has to keep going. I don't know what I'm saying. That it made sense in my head.
But the thing is, though, right? Right. So he missed 3 he missed 3 extra points. At that point, they were well out in front. But Tom Brady in the second half could have turned it round. Right? What if that game had finished 24-20 to Tampa Bay?
You
know what?
Would have been more difficult.
It's very difficult, but Dallas and Sunday, they're not happy about it. I know that. I know they're fuming. It's all to do with preparation time and stuff like that. You're a professional football player, get on with it.
Deal with it. Not interested in that.
Well, how many teams do we see have to play like a Monday night and then they're playing on the Sunday 1 o'clock?
Exactly. I'm not interested in that. Load of rubbish.
But it's a great win for Dallas. They've got their first playoff win in a while. So
their first road playoff win since 1992.
I wasn't even alive.
Neither was I.
Shocking. But I do think, let's move on now. Let's get to our divisionals.
Yep.
Let the big boys come.
Well, yes, that shall do it for this episode of the End of the Fourth Football Show. Thank you very much for hanging out with us, as you always do. Chris, I think we will start workshopping our AFC and NFC team of the season. So start teasing positions. So kick return or kicker, wide receiver 4, that kind of thing. Well, I don't know. We'll do something, but we'll start teasing it out there, getting it out. So follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I don't really bother with the Twitter because Elon. But I say that I still use my own personal one, but I don't bother with our show's one. I think it's still End of the Fourth Football Podcast over there. So yeah, don't follow that.
Yeah, even I don't follow it.
Yeah, I don't. I do, but I mean, I think it's harder to get followers on Twitter than it is anywhere else.
No, definitely. I mean, I was quite shocked. I couldn't find their own show until I found it in the Let's Talk Sport network.
Our YouTube channel.
Yeah, although we get more viewers than we had been getting.
Yes, we did very well. So for sure, check out our preview shows will be over there. and our reaction
Yeah.
shows will be on our channel. But yes, make sure to follow us on all of our social media pages except Twitter. But yeah, so we'll start throwing out players that are making our team for each conference, and we'll throw out our awards, that kind of thing. Hopefully it'll all kind of tie together for the NFL awards kind of that week leading up to the Super Bowl. And yes, it should be fun, but that's it. Make sure you check us out. We'll be back on Friday for divisionals preview.
Let me see how I am on Thursday night.
Aye.
I've got an NBA double header.
Oh, right, okay, of course.
So I won't get sleep.
Aye. Well, I'm going to a concert tomorrow night, so I'm excited.
Who are you going to see?
The 1975.
There's me thinking you were going to say something like Ollie Murs or something, you know? I had that in my head there.
Take that.
Oh,
Awesome. Right, well, from B-Hizzy, thank you very much for watching. And the Prez?
yes, but on the Take That vibe, Daniel Jones can rule the world.
All right, let's get out of here before you get in trouble.
Yeah.
Ciao for now.